In the first two lectures, I covered step 1 completely. Step 1 is initiating product development. So here we started with customer requirements, and we finally arrived at, in fact, we drew up a schematic for our product. We have even given name to our product. It is called Talking Book. So now we will go to step 2, establishing development environment. Point number 8 is identify integrated development environment. What I will do is, I will take you to an actual integrated development environment. Why it is called integrated? Because it integrates several functions. For example, you want to write a program, so you need an editor, a text editor. You want to compile that program, you want to debug it, and you want to burn it into a microcontroller, that is program a microcontroller. So all these things are involved in a single application, and therefore it's called an integrated development environment. So let us go and have a look at the IDE. Here it comes. It is called ST Visual Develop. This is by ST Microelectronics. We have chosen a device STM8S003, which is a ST Microelectronics microcontroller. So what we will do now, to write a program you need a workspace. So you have to create a workspace, then you have to create a project, and then a lot of files are put in that project. They are compiled, they are built, and so on. So we will do that step by step. The first step is go to left hand top corner. As you can see, it is File, click it once. You want to create a workspace, a new workspace, so new workspace, create. Now you come here in this dialog box, here create workspace and project. You click it and say OK. It will ask you the workspace name. So whatever name you want to give to this workspace, I like it, I will write as Karan 1, and this is the workspace location. You can see where your workspace is at any point of time. If you want to see where your workspace is, then you can always come to this place. How do you come to this place? By coming to project. We will see that. So next step is, you already created, at least you have already given name to your workspace. It's called Karan1. Okay. Then it says what is the project file name. So I will say K1 is my project file name. Where it is located, you can again see where it is located. You can see here. And now you have tool chain, because you want a compiler, assembler, all those things. Right now we will be not using any assembler, we will use only a compiler. It is not a Resonance in my case, because I had downloaded something different. That something different is STM8 Cosmic. And tool chain root that you have to define. So it is, in my case it is in D drive. So I go to D drive and let me check where it is, how to get to it. Here you can see this is, let us see where I am. I am in D drive. In the D drive I should find Cosmic. This is my Cosmic thing. So Cosmic, then CXSTM8 evaluation. I'm using the evaluation version. So this, and then I say OK, and then I say OK. Then I have to select the device. What was our device? Our device was STM8S003. So we have selected the device, right select, this is the device, and we have selected it. So it has come here, and so you click OK. So your device is there, your project and workspace both are already in place. Let us see. Karan1, that was our workspace, ST, W stands for workspace, and this is our project K1. So let us see what we have in the project K1. It says you have source files, include files, and external dependencies. We'll see that later. Right now I double click on source files to see if there is anything already built. So when you create a new project in a new workspace, these files are created, but they are dummy in the sense that you'll see what it is, then you will know what I mean by dummy. See, here there is no real program. It gives you a place where you can write your program. You can write your program here. Okay, and I will go to this later when we cover a lot of processes. Okay, this is interrupt. We are not interested in interrupt. We want to see something simple. So I maximize it. It will remain in its own window. So this is the editor. Now let me write a small program. Just above it, I define some variables. I say char means character means an 8-bit number. So it can be from 0 to 255. And I define two variables A and B, then put a semicolon. So char, then space, then name of the variable, comma, name of another variable, and then semicolon. Then I also define an int. Int means a this was 8-bit, this becomes 16-bit. Int. Let me give them names. C and D are int. Okay. Then I come to this is the main program and all the functions. It can call a lot of functions, but whenever you say reset, it will always go to the main. We will not see the functions right now. We will only see the behavior of this program and what is the utility of this program. So I say here, let's say let A be is equal to 34, B is equal to 56. This is how we write. A is equal to 34 semicolon, B is equal to 56 semicolon. Simple. And then what I want to do is I want to say that C is equal to A plus B semicolon and D is equal to A into B semicolon. Then you can leave any amount of space, but why to do that? Let me remove the spaces. What does this mean while 1? It means as long as while value is 1, it will remain there. So in fact, when you run the program, compile the program, build the program, run the program, it will always come here and stop. It will do nothing else. So normally it is not done like this, but fine, you proceed. Now I want to use the debugger. So I say here I had two options, release or debug. When you are developing a program, you keep it in the debug mode. And after completely debugging, debug means what? There may be errors in writing the program. You are not following proper syntax, or there will be a logical error. There can be errors, and so when an error is called a bug. So when you debug means you remove all the errors until the program performs the desired function completely. Until then you stay in the debug mode, and so now you are in the debug mode and you build it. This is the compiler. You can compile it. When you build, it compiles also. So let us do the rebuild all, or simply build. Let us see what is happening. see what is happening. What is happening will appear here. Excellent. So there are no errors and there are no warnings. So let us debug the program. To debug the program, there is a D here. I am going to left hand top. As you can see, there is a D written blue. When you click it, it will start debugging. It is ready to debug. So it says, before you debug, tell me what is the target. How do you reach the target? To reach the target, you need something. So is it swim ST-Link? In my case, yes, it is swim ST-Link. So, okay. So with the help of ST-Link, I am going to program the device and then debug it. So the information has gone into my device and I will reset it. When I reset it, as you can see, it has come to the first entry of the main void. You have come to the first entry. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that it will come to this point if you run it, but I want to move step by step. Right now, I am at the step A is equal to 34, and you can see this here. Step into F. Step into, you can use F11 key, or you can simply come over here and click. Then what will happen? It will assign 34 to A. So how will you know that it has assigned? For that we call it a watch. Watch means you can watch values of many variables. So I go to view. You can see I have gone to view, and there I need to go to watch, so I will be able to watch the variables. What are the various variables? One is A, another is B, another is C, another is C, then is D. You can enter D here. This is C, this is A, this is B, C. Okay, this has not yet come. C, C. It has come. Okay, then here it is D. So right now the values of A, B, C and D are all zeros. Right? When I execute this instruction at line number 9, the instruction is A is equal to 34. So it has to assign 34 to A. The value of A should become 34 when it is executed. So I take just one step into this. So when I do this, A is given a value equal to 34, and you can see here down below, A has become 34. Okay. Now you can see something written after the value also, and you decide how do you want to see that value. So what we will do is display item as decimal. So it has been 34 plain. Here you can see after 0 it is written like this. We don't want that. We will say that okay, I want to see this also as a decimal number. So it has become a decimal number. That something has vanished. Then C, you see what I'm doing. See, I'm right clicking on this and display item. I come to this point. How did I reach here? I reached here by right clicking on C, and then decimal is selected. So C will be in the decimal form. Then same way I come to D, then right click on it, come to display item, come to decimal and stop. I can choose the form in which the quantity is displayed. So A has been assigned value 34. Initially it was 0. Now I go to another step again. Then B will become 56. Watch B here. it should become 56. So step by step we move and we come to this. So finally D becomes C is A plus B. What is C? 34 plus 56. So it is 90. And what is D? A into B. That is 34 into 56, which is 1904. So you can see how to move step by step. Now suppose I reset it again. All the values have become 0. And if I run it, it will halt here because it cannot exit this particular statement. Now this is for running at full speed. It has run. I stop it. When I stop it, I know where it had landed. So it has landed here and it is not able to move away from this place. In the process, you have also modified. So you have understood how to write and debug a very simple program. In this program, I have not used any hardware resource of the microcontroller other than its flash memory, the program memory. I have not done anything else. Now I will modify this program a little. I will take these two steps, step 11 and step 12, inside the while loop and then slowly debug it. So how to do it? I say here while 1. What do I do? Whatever I write inside the bracket, that will be done. And what I'm going to write inside the bracket? These two steps. Control X. And these edit commands are just like the MS Word. So nothing new to learn. Straightforward. Now let me delete this. So what does this mean? This means that it will assign 34 to A. When you run it, it will assign 34 to A, 56 to B, and then it will assign C is equal to A plus B, and this, and it will keep doing it. So it doesn't make sense. You are not changing the value every time you run through this loop. So let us change it also. C is equal to A plus B, then A is equal to B plus C or C plus B. I have to C into B. So C, some value will come to C, which is equal to 34 plus 56. Then A will be equal to C into B. So C is suppose 90 after this operation, then 90 into B, and B is anyway 56, so 90 into 56, something like that will happen. And then when you go back, value of C has already changed. Let us see what happens. So I come out of debug. I'm going to left hand top, stop debugging on this cross. If I put stop debugging, C is equal to A plus B, then A is equal to B plus C, and then B is equal to A plus C. I'm not taking the variable D. Something interesting is going to happen, hopefully. Let's see. I run it. First I have to build it. Yes. Again, you can see what is happening here. So 0 error, 0 warnings, and your program is ready for debugging. You are in the debug mode here. So I go to D for debugging, start debugging. You can see that caption is also coming, start debugging. So this. Then it will again ask what device you have for programming. Single wire interface module, SWIM. It's ST-Link. I'm using ST-Link, so I say OK. What does ST-Link connect? It connects my laptop with the target board through what is called ST-Link. It's some kind of hardware programmer, right? So now you are in the debug mode. And I can come out of debug mode by clicking on this, which I'm not going to do just now. So now I say go to this, it will reset, and therefore the pointer will come here. So when I execute this, and let's also put back the watches view, watch, whatever values they have already given, they appear here. So initially A, B, C, D are all zeros. Now I move one step, A becomes 34, then B becomes 56, then C has to become A plus B, which means 90. Yes. Then A is equal to C plus B. Now you can see the C is something new. It is 90. It was not there initially. Now it is 90 plus B. So A has changed now. So when you go back here, you'll find a very different value of A. Right now the value of A is 34. But when I execute this step at line number 14, the value of A will change. Step into it. So the value of A has become 146. And remember that A is a character, which means its value has to lie between 0 and 255. Right now it is already 146. This is something interesting going to emerge. That's why I have taken this simple example. Now B has become 236, which is coming very close to 255. Now C is an int, which means its maximum value can be 65,536. Its maximum value can be max value is 65,535, and the max value here, let us write down max value in this case is 255. Right, now let us move. Let us see what happens to C. Step into it. It has become 382, possible because its max value can be 65,535. It is 382, so there is no issue. Now let us see what happens to A. A is C plus B. C is 382 and A is 146. See, let's check what happens next. Step into it. So value of A has become 106. How it is possible? Because C is 382 and B is 236. So 382 plus 236 is definitely not 106. Then what has happened? Let us see. Let us see with the help of a calculator. The calculator is here. Calculator. I go back to this, and calculator is here. So what values do you expect? You said that is A is equal to C plus B, and C is 382 and B is 236. So 382 plus 236 is equal to what? Is equal to 618. Now 618 you cannot have because A has a maximum value of 255. Then what happens? Then you subtract 256 from it, minus 256. This is an overflow. 256. Not this clear entry. 256. You subtract it. You get what value? 362. Even 362 is bigger than 255. So there is one more overflow. So minus once again 256. So what you get is 106, and that is precisely what you are getting, 106. You understand that? Because you are restricted the upper limit of value to A at 255, therefore if you try to add anything into it, as soon as it goes beyond 255, so if you try to write 256, it will become 0. So this is how it happens. But right now let us see next B is equal to A plus C. Now B is 232, A plus C 106 plus C was 382. So what would be the value? Let us see. Value of B, how it is 232, that you want to check. It is A plus C. A is 106 plus C. C is A plus C, we are talking about this. C is 382 plus 382. This is equal to 488. So subtract 256 from it. And we are left with 232, that is precisely the value of B. So remember how you decide what kind of variable you want, whether it is to be a character which is an 8-bit number and maximum value 255, whether you want it to be an integer, in which case the maximum value will be 65,535. Like that, you have to decide how many bytes you want to assign to a variable, depending upon what values do you expect in the real world, right? So this is how it goes on, and now you understand what is the meaning of char and int. I make a small modification. Now I want to show you the use of a breakpoint. Breakpoint means what? Suppose I want the program to halt at this point. I want it to run at full speed but stop here. Then what do I do? This is for breakpoint. You can see where I have gone. I have gone to the third line from the top. There is a symbol of a hand. If I click on this hand, then here you will get a breakpoint. See, you got a red thing here. It means if I reset this program, reset means see where I am going, restart application. I restarted application, therefore the cursor has gone to, pointer has gone to 9, which is the beginning of main, and now I will use this so that it will run fast at full speed and come here and stop. Okay, it will not come to this place. You will not see it's coming here, you only see it's coming here. So run it at full speed. It has come directly without stopping at B, etc. So this is the meaning of a breakpoint. Here you can see what has happened up to this point, up to point 13, means before 13 what has happened. It has assigned A 34 and B 56. This is what has happened. Suppose I want to put a breakpoint here. First I want to remove this breakpoint from here. One method is to click on this once again, so it toggles, it goes off. So if you put it again, it will come. If you click again, it will go. So this is a toggle button. I want to make this as the breakpoint. Let me restart the program. When I restart, you can see down below the values of A, B, C and D have all become 0 and it has come to 9. It is stopping here. Now if I run it at full speed, either you use button F5 key, or you click here, then it will run at full speed and execute up to this. It will execute 14th line, it will not execute 15th. So let me run it, run. It has come here, but it has not executed B is equal to A plus C. How do you know that? Has it done C is equal to A plus B? In this statement, value of B is not changing. In this statement, value of B is not changing. So when you come here, value of B should be what? 56. So you have come here and the value of B is 56. It means this is not executed. So if I want to execute this, then what I will do? I want only this to be executed. So I step into it. So step into it, or you press F11 key on your PC, this. So it has not only executed this, it has gone to the next point, because this is while loop. So it will keep moving inside this while loop. So it has executed B. Has it executed B? Let us see. B is 236. It was 56, now it has become 236. So it has already added A and C. What was A? 146. And what was C? 90. 146 plus 90 is 236. So it has executed this. So wherever there is a breakpoint, at that point, the instruction at that point will not be executed. Number one. Number two is it will start from wherever it is and come to the breakpoint. And you can have many breakpoints. Here it is a small program. I wanted to explain something simple, so I have put just a single breakpoint. You can have breakpoint everywhere. Here you can have a breakpoint. Run at full speed and it will come here only. There are very few steps, so there is no point in putting breakpoints like this, but even then I am putting it. And now I am running it at full speed, so from here it will go full speed, but it finds a breakpoint, so it will stop here again. See, it is like moving in a single step, but we are running it at full speed. So it has moved just one step because it finds a breakpoint, it has to apply brakes. It has stopped. Then it has stopped. It will run at full speed but stop here. So friends, you can see that you can remove all the breakpoints in a simple way. You come to this place, remove all breakpoints, as you can see under this. Remove all breakpoints. All breakpoints are gone. So friends, this is how the breakpoints are used. Now I will stop here, and in the next part we will do something a little more complex. Here you have understood this, that while loop means what? While one means always. If you say while something less than something, something greater than something, then it will look for that condition and stay inside this loop. Okay, right now it will start from here, next step, until this comes. And when this comes, it will go back to this place that you have seen. I will show you in a step-by-step mode. Right now we are at line number 15, and there is, after executing this, there is a bracket here. So it will go back to this bracket and then execute the next instruction. So it will come here. Let us see that. It has come here, see. So after executing this, it has gone up. How do you know whether it has executed it? It has to, but you can verify it with the help of numbers. Then again, one step, and it has gone up. One step. As soon as it finds the bracket, it goes up. This is how the while instruction is executed continuously. Normally, in a given product, you have one such while loop because certain activities are to be done continuously by the system as long as it is powered up. So friends, today I stop here. So thank you. We'll meet again.